Today we're going to talk about the different types of first aid classes that you might come across and how to determine which one is best suited for you. Before we get into that, please go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel so you can stay up to date with more great content like this one that'll help inform you and help you make better decisions. Now, first aid is offered by a lot of different agencies: the American Heart Association, American Red Cross, Health and Safety Institute, and the list goes on. What can you expect from each one, and why? What are the differences? Well, first, we've done a video about the difference between the American Heart Association and the American Red Cross, which we can link below. But essentially, the American Heart Association generally is the one who does a lot of the research. They set the standards, and these other agencies will just copy that information, and then they brand it with their own agency or organization brand. But there are still a few little differences even within each agency. For example, the American Heart Association, their version of first aid is called Heart Saver, and it's geared towards lay people, non-healthcare people, and so they actually have, within the Heart Saver brand, they've got different levels. So you have regular Heart Saver, which is going to be a little bit more of a basic Heart Saver course, like if you worked at a church or an office building and you just wanted to learn first aid. That would apply to you. But then there's this course called Heart Saver Total. And Heart Saver Total is going to be for people that are required to have training per OSHA. So if you're in the industrial, manufacturing, or daycare centers, places like that, you're generally going to need Heart Saver Total. So those are options within the American Heart Association, and then the American Red Cross, they have their own version of first aid. It's going to be very similar to the American Heart Association, but there are certain things that are slightly different, like how they recommend responding to somebody that's choking, or how they recommend responding to somebody who's had a drowning incident and trying to revive them. So they've kind of have their own doctors and medical influence, and they have taken kind of the standard guidelines and they've adapted that a little bit and made their own special recommendations. American Safety and Health Institute, or Health and Safety Institute, they're kind of one and the same. Their first aid program is great, very customizable. So you can have like your bare bones foundational topics, but then they go into a lot of other topics too, like amputations or environmental emergencies, different things like that, that depending on what kind of a work environment you're in, this course allows you to really tailor it in and talk about specific topics that are very applicable to your environment. And so that's some of the benefits of doing the HSI first aid course. They're all great. You're going to walk away with primarily the same information and definitely the same competency to save lives. It's just depends on what your employer or your state licensing board may require, and that's going to primarily be the determining factor of which agency you should go with. There's also blended learning options for first aid, where you take all the course online and all the learning component online, and then you come in for a skills demonstration. And so you practice the skills of first aid, and then you get checked off performing those skills. And then there are online only CPR training, online only first aid training, and it's good as well. It's great information. But just be aware, and we've done videos on this as well, which we can link to below, but just be aware that online only training generally is not going to be accepted if it's being required by your employer or by like a state board. They're usually going to want training that has some element of hands-on component to it. So hopefully that's helpful. If you're in need of a first aid class, my recommendation is go to ClassEagle.com. There's a form there you can fill out indicating what kind of course you're looking for, and then it will send out that notice to 5 local instructors in your area who can then reach out to you and give you a price, and then you can choose the price that you like the best. Hopefully this was helpful and informative. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and we'll talk with you soon. This is Andrew at Class Eagle.